go. Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about an all or something Thanksgiving. I want you to really wrap your head around this for a second, because if you're a dieter, most of the time you think about weight loss in all or nothing terms. And that's one of the main reasons why you're struggling, because you see things so black and white, and most of life is kind of in the gray space. So you need to get a little more flexible. You need to have some more gradients in your perception of how you're going to act, especially around Thanksgiving and the holidays. You're not going to eat perfect, because to go into Thanksgiving and eat totally perfect, to stay in a calorie deficit, you may lose some weight, but then you're going to be pissed that you ruined your holiday. And we can't have that happen. People do this all the time with vacations, holidays. They go into these fun times, the times where you're celebrating your life, celebrating being a human being with the people that you love. And you're going to be miserable though, because you're not going to enjoy yourself. And so what we want to start to do is play in the gray space. How can you have Thanksgiving where it's not all about eating as much as you possibly can, but it's about enjoying yourself as much as you possibly can? And once you make the focus not just about food, but about how can I have the best time possible, now what happens is I think you open yourself up to a common sense answer, which is going to be, I want to enjoy myself with the people I'm with, the time I'm having, and the food I want to eat. But when it comes to the food piece, I don't want to eat to the point of absolutely feeling stuff. I don't really like that. It doesn't feel that good. I don't want to drink so much I'm hungover, for the next 2 days. So there's a sweet spot. And I think if you start to open your mind up to this concept and you start to focus on the ultimate pleasure you could get out of Thanksgiving, what ends up happening is you open yourself up to a much more moderated, gray area, realistic way to deal with your weight and your eating, certainly on Thanksgiving. Or again, you're going to eat more than you typically would on a Thursday, but you're going to go absolutely crazy with it. And what happens is it just feels balanced. You get to enjoy yourself, but you also don't feel terrible afterwards. And it's this way of thinking that really sets you up for ultimate success when it comes to Thanksgiving, holidays, and really most days you're going to deal with in life, because most of the time you're not going to be this all or nothing person who's just always perfect. And we certainly don't want to be not thinking about anything at all. So let this kind of sink in and start to think about Thanksgiving a bit more from this perspective. And if you want help with this, I have literally put together a training. It's 5 minutes long, and it's 5 tips to help you thrive during Thanksgiving. And then I'm giving you a hypnosis session and a sleepnosis session that you can listen to ahead of time to help you thrive during Thanksgiving, to really internalize this concept. And all you need to do to get it is just click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session I give you, and then you will get an email with that new training in there, and it'll help you thrive during Thanksgiving. Again, it's my gift to you to help you enjoy Thanksgiving more, and just to show you there's a better way. There's a better way than this dieting approach where you're trying to be perfect, on days when we really should be enjoying the food. So I hope this helps you out. If there's any questions, feel free to ask them. Professional Killjoy says, morning, been sick and dropped some weight, trying to keep the boat steady instead of going too far in the reversing direction. Yeah, I think that's smart. I think that's so smart. And that's really almost, I started to notice it's a sign of people in the Program Yourself Thin program. They're much more moderate. And it really is kind of about being even keel. Yeah, I think that's really, if I had to summarize my approach really to mastering my weight, it's about kind of evening things out. So I don't, and just like I was saying with Thanksgiving, I don't want to go off the deep end. And I've done it, right? We've all done it, where you eat so much or drink so much on Thanksgiving. It's like, I'm on commission for a couple of days. I don't want to kick off the holiday season feeling like shit. And I don't know, eating extra food is good too. So again, there's that sweet spot though, where we eat extra food, but we don't go nuts with it, But anyways, yeah, back to your point, when you get sick and you drop some weight, recognize that. I do that all the time too. Like if I do get sick and my hunger goes down and I start losing some weight, I realize that I think of myself kind of like, like that pirate ship at the amusement park, it goes way up here and way back here like a pendulum, and I always think of myself that way. So if all of a sudden I get sick, I'm kind of swinging one way, and then my hunger goes down and I'm not really hungry and I'm feeling like shit, whatever, I might lose some weight, but then I know it's going to come back up. And there's going to be an equal and opposite reaction. And so I'm preparing for that. And so I think Professional Killjoy, I'm very, very proud of you for even recognizing that, because I think we need to have an expectation. I can't tell you the number of dieters where it's like they get sick and they stop eating and they lose some weight and they're all excited. And then things start returning to normal. But of course, it's not normal. You haven't eaten. Let's just say you're sick for 3 days and you hardly eat. And now all of a sudden you start feeling better. Well, guess what? Your hunger is extra high. And it's on top of that, it's relative. So, people lose weight and then they're all excited and then they start eating and then they get all depressed. So again, with that question alone, I can already tell that your time frame is bigger than a dieter's. And so great job. And just pay attention to it. Start to understand yourself, and if you can kind of relax and pay attention to where you're at during the process, then you can obviously work on strategies to deal with it as well. What's up, Jen? How's it going? Jen said, hello. Thought of the phrase you were looking for, the pre-diet eating. A food bender. Yes. Right. A food bender. That's perfect, right? Because that's kind of the classic, right? Go on. What we're talking about like in diet psychology, one of the big studies they've done is where they'll take dieters, long story short, they'll take dieters and people that aren't on diets, and they will tempt them with milkshakes. And if they drink the milkshake, dieters tend to just go way overboard. And then they way overeat after the milkshake. I'm not explaining this well. Basically what it means is dieters are known for really restricting things. And the second that they make a mistake, they go way off course. And they call this the what the hell effect. And I was saying that usually happens after. So you've been on the diet, then you screw up, and then you go and eat everything. But we were talking the other day about what's that word for when it's like Thursday and you're like, oh, I'm going to start my diet Monday, but now you're going to eat like shit for 3 days. And so I think Jen hit the nail on the head with the food bender. Yeah. A food bender and the what the hell effect is what a lot of people bookend their weight loss attempts with. And it doesn't work, obviously. But great. Yeah, Jen, I emailed you too about that session. I listened to it and it didn't have a count out. So I don't even know how this is possible. I'm hoping you just clicked on the wrong one so it's easy for me. But if it literally says Sleepnosis and it says 11 minutes and like 55 seconds and it plays a count out for the Thanksgiving one, please let me know, because I'm going to freak out. I don't know how that's possible. Let me know. What's up, Joy? What's up, Julie? Julie says, I'm going to an expensive restaurant that specializes in expensive seafood and wonderful salads. I'll have a couple bites of dessert with coffee. Yeah, perfect. Again, that's the point. It's the question, how can I have my cake in my body too? Right? How can I have both? And a lot of times dieters never ask that question. The dieters are living in the either or. I either don't eat anything I like and lose weight, or I eat everything I like and I don't lose weight. It's just this very black-white binary existence, and it's bullshit. So yeah, nice job, Julie. That sounds like a great plan. What's up, Katie? How's it going? Be a nice weekend. And what's up, Shireen? Shireen over on TikTok. You're not usually there, are you, Shireen? I thought you were over on YouTube half time. Shireen says, every year, birthday, Thanksgiving, anniversary in the same week. I've got this. All right, nice. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. I would prefer that in a way anyways, as well. Stack them all together. That's fine. But again, regardless, it doesn't matter. Everyone's got their challenges and their strengths and their weaknesses, their challenging situations and their, easier situations. But that is kind of a challenge when Thanksgiving, anniversary, and birthday. Wow. Congratulations, by the way. Yeah. So happy birthday, happy anniversary, and have a nice Thanksgiving. Yeah, you got this though. I love the attitude. Challenge mindset, right? Take it on as a challenge. And again, I would strongly suggest, I just mentioned this before, but literally, I tell you this all the time. I give you more free stuff than anyone. That's my goal. And if someone's giving you more free weight loss stuff than me, then you let me know and I'll turn it up even more. But what I've done this week is, if you're on my email list, all you need to do to that is click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session I give you, watch the video, email, it doesn't matter. All you need to do is opt in. Just do that. And then over the next couple of days, I'm emailing you a training I did. I just made it. It's really good. It's 5 steps to thrive during Thanksgiving. It's a 5-minute training. And then I gave you a hypnosis session, a special made hypnosis session to reinforce the 5 steps into your subconscious mind easily. And I gave you 2 versions of it. I gave you a hypnosis session, which has a count out. And so you listen to that, count out, and then go about the rest of your day. And there's a Sleepnosis version that you listen to while you're going to sleep. Listen to it, and it doesn't count you out, and you just go to sleep. Oh, how much? It's free. It's free. I don't know what to do. They say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I can't come to your house and make you listen to these sessions. If you're ever curious, why not listen to this? I don't want to screw up my Thanksgiving. I want to eat. This is how you have a better Thanksgiving. So it's not about going into Thanksgiving and trying to restrict. It's nothing to do with that. It's about being strategic, and it's about having the right mindset before and during Thanksgiving. And that mindset is one where you're focused on how can I have the most enjoyment possible. That's the magic question. And what the answer I hope starts to come back as is I'll enjoy the food. I'll eat it. I don't need as much of it. That's what you start to realize when you're calm and you're relaxed and you start asking the question. You go into Thanksgiving and you say, how can I enjoy Thanksgiving the most? When you ask that in a calm, relaxed way, you know what the answer usually becomes? I want to enjoy the food moderately and I want to enjoy the people I'm with or whatever your situation is. I want to enjoy it, but I want to enjoy it moderately. I don't want to get to the end of the day and feel like total shit. Do you? Unless you do. I mean, if you do, that's your highest form of pleasure. So there you go. But again, we tend not to do that. Dieters go into it and they're just freaking out and anxious. And that causes all kinds of problems. So just relax, calm down, and ask yourself, how can I get the most pleasure possible at Thanksgiving? You ask that magic question, you start bringing the right strategies into it, the right mindset into it, and you can have the best Thanksgiving you've ever had in a long, 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 long time. So all you need to do is click the link in my bio, go get it. And I'll be sending an email out to that this afternoon, I believe. Yep. Shireen says, focusing on family. I want to feel good, not food hangovers. Yeah, perfect. Perfect, Shireen. And I'm sure Shireen's probably already listened to the training because she's in the program and she does the work. That's why she's ready for this week. What's up, Kelly? Kelly says, we're hosting Thursday. I'll give myself permission to relax and enjoy my family. Thanks for the freebies and happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. And you're welcome. Yeah. It's a pleasure. Pleasure to make those for you. I really, it's what I live for. And I will just say this real quick. I'm not going to get too much into this, but anyone who's already a member of the program of Program Yourself in the Mastery Program, Program Yourself in coaching, any capacity. I think this is the coolest thing, and I'm so excited about it. It's Circle. It's called Circle. So a lot of people know it, so that's why I mentioned it. It's an app. It's like a community app. But what's happening is probably today or tomorrow. It's pretty much right at the end now, where it's ready to go. Again, it's a work in progress. So recognize that. But what's going to happen is you're going to be able to get in there. It's an app right on your phone, and everything in the program, it's just easily accessed through there. There's discussion areas. If you're part of some Thrive program, different things. It's just easy to access everything. So I'm really excited for all of you to get that. And so keep an eye on your inbox. I will do that. And remember, yesterday I sent a thing. If you want to get text reminders, go put your email or your phone number in there. Dumbass. I haven't been collecting phone numbers for years. And so now I have the ability to text people, and I got to get their phone numbers first. So anyways, if you're in the program, make sure you go do that. It'll help you. Ms. Raven says, how come when I don't pay attention to what I eat, I'm smaller, but when I do, I gain? Yeah, that happens a lot. And I don't think that's a surprising thing when you understand hypnosis, because I think this is why dieting to me is the most insidious shit. I think dieting is a psychological operation against you by the big food companies. Conspiracy? Much? Yeah, but I think so. I think all the big diets you know about are all owned by the big food companies. Weight Watchers owned by Heinz, Jenny Craig's owned by Nestle, Atkins Food Products owned by the same company as Auntie Anne's Pretzels and Cinnabon. The company that owns Slim Fast, the same company that owns Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I think these companies, the diet mentality is literally, it's a ruse. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing, trying to trick you. And what happens when you go on a diet? What do? You focus on all the foods you can't eat. This is a big problem because your subconscious mind doesn't understand negatives. So if I tell you to get your willpower ready and don't think about what I'm about to tell you, don't think about a yellow banana. Don't think about a yellow banana. What are you thinking about? A yellow banana. Now, every time you go on a diet, what are you fixated on? What you're not supposed to eat, what you can't eat, what you have to stop yourself from eating. It's all about all the bad food you have to stop eating. And so dieting really psychologically is a real form of torture. It's literally focusing you intensely on the exact thing you want to avoid more of, which is why dieting rarely, one of many reasons why dieting rarely works. So the alternative, again, is this hypnotic approach. It's not about the unhealthy shit. It's about not paying attention. It's about letting those things fade from your awareness and instead focusing on the things you want to do. and not just the eating, the mindset pieces, the lifestyle pieces, the eating pieces that get you the results you want. So yeah, not even surprised, Ms. Raven, because when you're not thinking about it, you become indifferent to the food. You stop focusing on it. It fades away a bit from your awareness and you tend to eat less of it. But the easiest way for me to get you to eat more food is to get you fixated on it. And every diet gets you fixated on the foods that you're trying not to eat. So a real big issue, I would, I think. I don't know what you all think, but Ms. Raven C says, but I still want to lose more, but not sure how. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just understand how your brain works. I mean, you lucked into losing some weight by if I don't pay attention to it, I actually do better. Weird, but a lot of weight loss at this point has to feel counterintuitive to you. If you're a dieter, whatever you're doing better seem counterintuitive, or it's probably not going to work, because everything you think you should do doesn't work. Right? I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't know how much evidence you need. You've been dieting for 40 years and it hasn't worked. So you need a new strategy. And Ms. Rave, you kind of stumbled upon one part of it. You know, I'm excited to tell you, I again, this is what I teach in the program. It's again, it's counterintuitive though to think like, oh, the less I focus on the food, the better eating I do. Makes sense to me. So yeah, how do you lose more? I don't know. There's a lot of things. I would suggest, if you haven't yet, go to my bio, click the link, get the hypnosis session I was talking about, but watch the video I made, and that'll explain a little bit of what you were experiencing and hopefully take you a step or two further. Yeah. What's up, D? Gym AI is amazing. Like on-call therapist who just wants to help. Yes, I know, D. I'm going to take a little screenshot of that. Gym AI is so awesome. And that's even, I'm so excited for everyone in the program. And I gave everyone that's part of the PYT Mastery Program, I gave you a whole extra week of the Thrive, because I wanted you to really, I'm kicking the whole, you're going to get the circle thing today, I think. I'm going to just get it out to you. I don't care. If it's not working perfect, that's fine. Who cares? And then Gym AI. Now that I got your phone numbers, there's a phone number thing's going to make it work better. So go check that out. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, D, though. I love Gym AI. I think it's awesome. And I'm super excited about the future of that, because I know people have really been enjoying it. It's been really, really helpful. Riverwood says, what do you have to say about insulin resistance? Well, I think understanding insulin resistance on a core level is wonderful. And I think it'd be really helpful to help you move forward in a more strategic way. And I think it's crazy. I think about this all the time, how, the levels of the numbers of people becoming type 2 diabetic every year. It's crazy. And over the last 40 years, it's mind blowing. And so insulin resistance and understanding glucose spikes and insulin resistance, I think, is a cornerstone piece of really being able to master your weight. And I think most people don't. I think most people are glucose addicts, and if you start to think of glucose in a similar way as other white powders in the world, I think that it starts to give you a pretty powerful and effective paradigm to think about your weight in. And so if you wonder why you're addicted to certain foods, you're going to start to notice a pattern that the food you're addicted to cause glucose spikes usually. Meaning a lot of the food you're addicted to are made out of flour and sugar or something like that. And what happens is those are really quickly absorbed. Sugar is a processed, they try and make sugar seem so real natural. Not to say it doesn't have a natural origination, but so does a lot of white powders that people put in their bodies. They have natural originization. But they're concentrated and they're refined down to their most powerful part that's absorbed the quickest. And sugar's no different, flour's no different. And so when you consume things that spike your glucose quickly, your body gets addicted to that. And it throws you off on this roller coaster ride, just like other substances do, where you get this high and then you get this low. And when you get the low, what do you want to do? You want the high again, or at the very least, eventually you just want to get back to normal. So I don't know. It's a very interesting way to look at it. And so if you are insulin resistant now already, watch out. I'm going to say something that's going to bum you all out, but insulin resistance, if you're in the early stages of it, there's a good chance you can reverse it. But if you allow it to go on, it kind of pickles your body. It pickles the way your body works for forever. And why and how, I can't explain this, but how so many people are walking around today not giving a shit about insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes is beyond. I couldn't explain that or understand that in a million years. I am the opposite. I am very sensitive to what's going on in my body, and I certainly do not want to put myself on a path to insulin resistance. So, but I take it real serious. I have, program yourself. Then we structure our eating basically clean pleasure days. My clean days are usually about 5 days a week. And those 5 days, a core part of my intention of how I eat is I eat very, very little flour and almost no sugar during those days. That's how serious I take my insulin resistance, my glucose levels, my blood sugar spikes. It's very, very important to me. And I'm not anywhere near pre-diabetic, but it's just really important to me because it throws you on the roller coaster. And once you go down that path enough, it changes you, transforms you. I don't know. I don't know why people don't take it serious. And so you might be asking as well, how does it affect weight loss? Well, there's there's 8 billion bodies on the planet. I can't sit here and tell you how insulin resistance affects everyone because it's different in different people. However, insulin resistance can definitely make it harder to lose weight for a couple of reasons. Not impossible, though. And to be honest, if you're insulin resistant, if you're type 2 diabetic, the weight's really the least part of your problem here, in my opinion. But again, people tend to overlook medical issues in service of looking at how they look. Which is to say, people seem to be more emotionally tied into how they look, their appearance, than they are what's going on in their bodies. And I have an idea why that is, but I don't know. I don't know. So I know it's a kind of a vague question. It's a vague answer, but there we go. Yeah, Shireen said get it all over with. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Dana says, hello, can you explain how sleep has an effect on weight loss results? Oh my goodness. Sleep affects all of your weight loss. Sleep, in my opinion, we in Program Yourself Thin, we have 8 habits. We really focus on lifestyle habits. Sleeping's number 1. I think it's the most important factor lifestyle wise to affect your weight, because your sleeping affects absolutely everything. And they're just beginning to understand how impactful sleep is, but sleeping impacts your blood sugar. It literally, it impacts your insulin resistance. If you don't get a lot of sleep, you don't absorb glucose as effectively. So it affects that. But then the other things, to me, the bigger things that I'm always focused on, those are big. But the biggest thing I focus on, if you're not sleeping well, low quality sleep, not enough sleep, what happens first thing is you become sleep deprived. When you become sleep deprived, your brain is working at a not at optimal level, right? It's restricted. And one of the big ways it's restricted is your ability to influence your behaviors. Okay. So when you're not sleeping well, I look at it as the double whammy. On one hand, when you're not sleeping well, you wake up and you're tired. You don't have a lot of energy. Your body knows that it can get a quick shot of energy. Guess what gives it a quick shot of energy? Processed foods, quickly absorbed foods. So, hey, listen, I'm going to frame this in a way where TikTok won't get me, but think about it's the classic tale of another white powder that people use when they want to get high. I don't know if that's going to trigger it. I'm trying not to trigger the content warning here, but we know that story, right? Someone tries that thing and now they need a boost. They're kind of tired. They got work to do, but they need a boost, right? They do something and now all of a sudden their body and brain say, oh, I can do that thing to get a quick boost. So your body and brain know as soon as you're tired that's another way to get a quick boost. Eat a donut, go eat some cookies. You get a spike of pleasure, a spike of pleasure and a spike of energy. It's followed by a crash. Okay, same thing. The white powders are white powders. The effects are very similar across white powders. So you flour, you eat sugar, you put white powder in your body some other way. There's a similarity there in some ways. So there's that, right? And so your body, the double whammy is that your body wants energy and it knows a quick way to get energy. Eat some bullshit, and then simultaneously, because you're depleted and you're tired, your prefrontal cortex, which is where your willpower is, your strategic thinking, your rational thinking, it goes offline a bit. And so now not only do you have a craving for unhealthy food, but now you have a reduced ability to say no to it. Not a good place to be if you're trying to eat better to lose weight, right? So, I mean, it just goes on and on too. I mean, the sleeping thing. So those are the big ones. I'll leave you with that, but there's even more reasons. And so, yeah, it's crucial. I think if you're serious about your weight loss, I think you got to be serious about your sleep. That's my opinion. That's why I always give Program Yourself Then Mastery clients of mine, my Sleep at Will program. I see someone's username, Lorena Bobbitt. Is it actually you, Lorena? Remember Lorena Bobbitt? Melissa says, once you start feeling better from eating better, that becomes addicting. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Now, I will say it's not the same in my experience. It is, but it isn't. I mean, like unhealthy shit does seem to have this spike crash feel to it. And it seems to be a little more addicting, and I think it's a dopamine thing. There is a spike crash. When you eat healthy, it's not the spike crash type of thing. It's a more stable, but it definitely gets addicting too, especially when you get used to eating, when you get used to eating healthy, feeling healthy. It's so funny. Like last week, I can't wait. Like last week, I have salads Monday through Thursday for lunch. And last week, the lettuce I got was trash. It was just the worst lettuce I've gotten in years. Like I got it. It was gross. I was able to eat it for kind of 2 days, and I got another lettuce for 2 days. And then 2 days, I didn't even have a salad. And so I was like, damn it. But so this week here, I'm sure I got the good lettuce. I got them all set with lettuce, and I cannot wait to have my salad in a little while here, because I didn't feel as good last week. And it has there's a side effects too, of not eating those salads. But you're totally right. Totally right. Definitely think that once you start eating better, it becomes very, very addictive. What's up, Sherry? How's it going? I see you over there. And yeah, those of you actually in the Thrive program, like I told you, anyone's in the mastery program is got access to the Thrive program. I give you another week. And today we're going to be talking about meditation, which I'm really excited about. So Thrive program is awesome too. That's coming out. But anyways, I'm yeah. That's just want to let you know. Whoops, shit. Let's see here. I'm gonna miss. Hold on. I got some questions. I never want to miss them. It's hard with. I know I say this every day, but TikTok doesn't just put the questions all together. It shows you like every single thing that's happening, which is just hundreds of things, and so it's hard to find the questions. But I saw one, and I'm going to get to it right now because it looked like a good one. It said, there it is. Lie liver. Okay. I got told I eat like a fat person today. What can I do to keep to my diet? Well, first off, when we get told something, the first thing we do is it accurate or not? Someone told us something. Is it real or is it not real? Were you eating like a fat person, whatever that means to you? So that's you. You got to answer that first. Yes, I was. And I don't like eating that way. Okay. Because I would rather, the reason I say that, right? If you just got here and you're like, oh my God, I ate so much today. What can I do to stick to my diet? That's a completely different question than I got told today. Do you understand? Those are two worlds apart. Very important as a coach. So yeah. So anyways, I'll put that part to the side, even though I'd love to know a bit more about that, because that seems like a story in and of itself. Who told you that? I'd love to deep dive into that. But anyways, let's just say I wanted to eat well today and then I didn't. Let's just stick with the question that way. What can I do to stick to my diet? Well, it depends. I mean, how long have you been eating well? Dieters that ask me how to stick to their diets, you know what? Your strategy is so fucking stupid that I'm not going to sit here and talk about how to stick to it because it's so dumb. Let me put it in a different context that people seem to like. It's like if you were going to learn the piano and you're going to do the 15-7 method. You don't know what that is, but 15-7 method I created. I don't play the piano, but this is how I would do it. If I wanted to get good at the piano, this is how I do it. I'd play for 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. The 15-7 method. Now, if you try doing the 15-7 method and I see the next week and I say, how's it going? You go, I couldn't stick with it. Is it because you're a lazy, no willpower, no self-control piece of shit? Or because it's a ridiculous strategy that no one's going to stick with? It's impossible. You're going to start off playing 15 hours a day, every day, the piano. Your back would be so sore. Your fingers would be killing you. Your arms would hurt. Everything would hurt. You'd hate the piano. And so what's the problem though? Is it you? Because you don't have the motivation. You don't want to do it, you lazy. Is that the problem? Or is the problem it's fucking stupid? 15 hours a day, 7 days a week? I know it sounds good on paper, I guess. But did you connect to the reality of that at all? And so in that case, where's the problem? Where's the blame lie? And so that's what you're doing with your diets. This idea that you eat like shit, but then tomorrow's Monday, so everything's going to change magically from then on. Like, I mean, talk about living in a fantasy land. And so when people come and ask me fairy tale questions, like, how do I get a picture of the tooth fairy, Jim? You have any strategies to keep a picture of the tooth fairy? No, I'm not gonna talk about that because it's a waste of time. So the idea that someone's just gonna like, oh, is there a tip that can make me magically completely act different starting from tomorrow forever? Like, no, there's no tip. There's no tip that makes you do that. You can't just become a completely different person in one day because you wanted to. You make over 200 food decisions a day. You know how much is involved with your eating? Dieters make me so crazy because you just completely just separate from reality. It's like psychotic. It's like a psychotic break, you dieters. A fucking psychotic break from reality is what you got. When you're a dieter, go to the loony bin, dude. Go get some mental health treatment or something because you need to come back and reconnect with reality. No better ways to make people get the hell out of here. But for real though, what are you doing? And what I talk about, I mean, like literally, how much more evidence do you need? First of all, there's your experience, right? You've been dieting for 30 years. It hasn't worked. Okay. There's that. A. B, everyone you know has been trying to diet. It doesn't work for anyone. Okay. B. C, it doesn't make any sense. What else in your life can you just start? Oh, because tomorrow's Monday. So I'm just going to all of a sudden just do everything totally different. Like you just have no sense of how much is involved with it is to change your eating. And it's so annoying to me. But anyways, I still want people to ask questions. What can you do to keep your diet though? Be more relaxed. If you're more relaxed and calm, that's probably one of the best things you can do to stick to your diet better. I don't know why I'm like this. I am here to be helpful too. That's my whole intention. So I know that answer probably wasn't too helpful for anyone. It's helpful in a big context. If it gets you off of dieting, then it'll help. Chuck is Barry. What about dopamine from lifting weights? What about it? It's not really dopamine from lifting weights so much. I mean, I get it, but there's dopamine with everything, and I don't know, like people get confused with endorphins, dopamine, but there's dopamine with everything, but there's bigger dopamine spikes with shitty stuff. And that's one of the reasons why unhealthier shit is typically more addicting than healthy stuff. It's a spike factor of it. And so lifting weights is like exercising. It's like eating healthy. Yeah. Eventually, if you stuck with it, you'll start to associate dopamine with it. But the vast majority of people are not associating dopamine with lifting weights in the beginning because what's your first response when you first start lifting weights, folks? It sucks. I don't like going there. It's inconvenient. It's frustrating. It's hard. I'm sore afterwards. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I don't like it. You compare that experience to eating some cookies. You know what I mean? There's an instant spike of pleasure. So the dopamine release is tremendously different. Again, I'm not saying there's not dopamine releases lifting weights or you're walking or doing something healthy, but it's a much more gradual, slow dopamine. There's a dopamine desire circuit and a dopamine control circuit. And when we're talking about lifting weights, we're really talking about routing dopamine through the dopamine control circuit, which is a whole different experience than the dopamine pleasure, the dopamine, what did I just say? Dopamine pleasure circuit, which is it's a spikier thing, right? It's when you look at your phone. It's when you eat something sweet. It's when you see a movie you really like, someone you really enjoy seeing, you see them and you get a spike of dopamine. That's a different spike of dopamine. That you don't get a spike when you lift weights. You get an increase, no doubt, but it's not a spike. That's why people don't get addicted to that's why 75% of the population is overweight and obese and not bodybuilders. So again, not that it's not real, but they're totally different. And I think you should recognize that. Sherry says, so true about lack of sleep. It's been the story of my life. I'm a terrible sleeper and I've always looked for a quick energy fix. This will take a lot of work, but I know it'll be worth it. Oh, it's totally worth it. Totally worth it. And I think that, here's a cool thing. If you focus on your sleep, you can get way better at being a good sleeper. Like I was a shitty sleeper and I've gotten so good at it. It's a great skill of mine now. It's crazy. And so if you dedicate yourself to learn how to sleep well, you'll get way better. I'm not saying you'll be the best sleeper on the planet, but you'll be way better than you are. So yeah, great job, Sherry. I mean, that's smart. That's a smart investment is what that is. So Rock says, what's your first step for weight loss? My first step for weight loss would be to stop thinking of just weight loss. You dieters are obsessed with losing weight, and that's part of your problem because your real goal, if you're really honest with yourself, is not to lose weight. No, it's not. I know you can't believe that because the dieter's mantra is, I just want to lose the weight. I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. You say that a million times a day in your head, and it's all bullshit because you don't just want to lose weight. You want to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. That's the real goal you want, but you never articulate that. And so the big difference between dieting, which is all about weight loss is about getting to your goal weight. Weight mastery is about living at your goal weight. So the first thing I would do, my first step to lose weight would be to say, I don't give a shit about losing weight. I care about living at my goal weight. And that distinction is everything because now, once I'm not just focused on losing weight as quick as I can, but on living at my goal weight, now I'm focused on sustainable ways to do it. My entire goal is different now because if all I want to do is lose weight, I can just cut my calories down to, I'll eat 500 calories a day. There you go. That'll help me lose weight for a little while, but it's not a long-term plan. And this is the trap that you dieters are all in. And you dieters are all in it now because now you've been dieting for 10, 20, 30 years, and now you associate failure with dieting anyways. So you can never even get yourself started really anyways because you never believe it's going to work. You do not believe you're going to lose the weight. You do not believe you're going to stick to your diet. You do not believe you're going to maintain it. No, you don't. And that's why you're not dieting. So once you start to approach this as a mastery path, something that you can learn, master for the rest of your life on your autopilot, now you start to say, well, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's a different time scale. It's much more like college. In college, you weren't just constantly, did I learn biology yet? Did I learn biology? I'm here for biology. I didn't learn biology. Imagine going through college that way. You would never finish. So, there's a natural order to things. But if you start walking the weight mastery path, that's how you truly get the goal you want, which is not just to lose some weight. So, but anyways. What's up, Don? Gobble Gobble Week. I know. I'm proud of all you here on Gobble Gobble Week. This is one of the slowest times, other than like right before Christmas. This is like literally weight loss wise, this is the slowest week of the year. Which I get, I get it, but I'm trying to change the game here. I'm trying to, again, knock yourself out on Thanksgiving, eat more than you typically do, but just don't. It's the perfect day to practice all or something, minimize the damage. Right? We go in there, we're going to enjoy ourselves, but we're not going to go way off the chart. Going off the chart sucks. That's what you got to start to realize. See, as an American, you associate the highest form of pleasure food-wise is to eat as much as you possibly can. That is the fucking biggest bunch of bullshit ever. And that's the core thing you got to change. You've been conditioned through literally tens of millions of ads in your life by food companies that pleasure is equivalent to consumption. That the way to keep cranking the pleasure up is to keep eating more. And that's our country in general. I was thinking that. I'm not going to get into that. Everyone will hate me. It's an unpopular point of view. But anyways, I think that I think it's really important that you realize just eating and eating. And I not because if I didn't gain weight, I just keep eating and eating. And it's like, man, then you are completely disconnected from yourself. Because when you way overeat a bunch of shit, and especially like rich shit, you're just like out of commission. You know what I mean? You're not yourself. You're hungover. Do you realize there's food hangovers? No, I'm not judging because I didn't realize this at one point. I always tell the story. This moment feels like it was yesterday. It was actually 30 years ago. It was right at the very beginning of my journey. I was doing yoga at that point. I was doing like a yoga every night. I was doing yoga for like an hour. I was loving it. And it was right in the very early days. And I remember one night I was doing yoga and I was sitting there and I was like, oh, I feel like shit. What is wrong with me? I'm like, my stomach. I'm like, oh, I do not feel good. And this is like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, what's going on? And then I'm like, oh, I had that giant meatball grinder. or hoagie or whatever you all call it. I had a giant meatball grinder like at 7:00, right? It's 10 hours. I'm like, oh, or 3 hours later, I'm like, oh my God, I just feel like shit. And so I was like, oh my God. And I thought that, but then I'm like, oh my God, I eat meatball grinders all the time. I've never felt this way. And I was like, that's because I usually go and watch TV afterwards. This is like, I've never eaten that way and then sat quietly in a room with myself. And all of a sudden, I was like, holy shit, I feel terrible. I don't feel well. So this is the big trick of being an American in the modern age is you stuff yourself silly and then you numb yourself out. You disconnect with entertainment in a nutshell. And so you're completely disconnected from how shitty you feel physically, mentally, and emotionally when you overeat or eat the wrong stuff. I know you don't believe me, but that's fine because that's why in Program Yourself Thin, one of the main things we work on is awareness. Because if you don't know that and don't believe it, you're gonna have a much harder time than if you did. So, Professional Killjoy says the autopilot part's so important. Dieting becomes like a hobby for people. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The autopilot part's the key part of the whole thing. And it's real too. It's not some marketing bullshit. It's literally Program Yourself Thin is literally built around you getting to your goal weight, but then living there for the rest of your life on your autopilot. I'm so excited. My son's getting older. He's in 7th grade now. And it's like, I was so excited because we were talking about just some school stuff. And I like, hey, we get to talk about systems now. Congratulations, you're about to become a man. I'm like, when you get to learn about systems, and it's like so exciting for me because I'm like, man, I wish I knew about systems my whole life. I started learning about 19. But it's like what I try to tell you so you can understand it is you've got a toothbrushing system, right? Think about it. Your toothbrushing habit is probably one of the few habits that you have installed into your body and brain. And now it just runs on autopilot and it keeps your teeth safe and clean and healthy. But you can have a bunch of those. I've got like 8, 10 of those habits now. My water habit, my sleeping habit, my relaxation habit, my yoga habit, my movement habit, my nourishing habit. I have all these habits. They just run on autopilot. So I'm managing my weight in a very automated way. And that's the central part of the whole process. And this is probably the thing that makes it so much different than dieting. Because when you diet, it's the opposite of that. When you diet, you're going completely out of autopilot mode into micromanaging mode, every single thing. And your brain's not built for that. That's why you can do it for usually a couple days or a couple of weeks. And then you can't keep it up anymore because dieting is really trying to consciously fight against your brain, fight against all your automatic impulses, thoughts, and behaviors. And you never win that battle. You're never going to. And so Program Yourself Thin is built around reprogramming the automated part of your brain. So you naturally and automatically do the things that get you and then keep you at your goal weight. So it's a fundamental shift in approach from dieting. But yeah, autopilot part's really, really important. So Christina says, it's taken me 40 years to get to this weight and I don't expect to lose it in a matter of months. I've lost 70 pounds in 15 months. Holy shit. That's great, Christina. Christina's in the program too. That maps. Christina's awesome. She's a real coachable person and she's one of the fun ones. Sometimes you get people, they just needed the right environment and the right information. And it's like, as soon as they do, they just take off and thrive. And Christina's one of those. So great job. I think that's a great attitude, a great mindset. And, that's tremendous outcome too, by the way, 70 pounds in 15 months. I love both of those numbers. To me are so impressive. It's like the numbers. And I'll tell you what, I put them in order of the number. That's the number 2 most impressive thing is 70 pounds. Holy shit. Right. That's a lot of weight. Great job. The most impressive thing is 15 months. When I see 15 months, I know the person's serious. I know they got strategies and the mindset. They're going to help them keep them in the game for a long time. So that's great. Great job. Edith says, no, it's interesting because it really is a big issue how food is put on such a pedestal and it's really difficult to switch that mindset. Yeah, absolutely. It is. I mean, but again, you have to understand you've been conditioned. And I'm not going to go into it, but we're all hypnotized. We have hypnotic brains. We're hypnotic creatures. What's that mean? It means we live most of our lives on autopilot and we're influenced in a subconscious way that we don't even realize. Our entire lives at this point, right? If you're alive now, listen to me, your entire life, our entire lives, we've been exposed to tens of millions of food advertisements and millions of diet advertisements. And just those 2 things alone have really wreaked havoc with our mindsets. And it is hard to change it on your own. It's hard to change it even program yourself thin, but at least it's a system that aims to recondition you, reprogram you as a thin, healthy person. So there's not a lot of that out there, but yeah, it's real important. And food does get put on a pedestal, and there is obviously a physical imperative for that. Through evolution, it needed to be on a pedestal. It was the most important thing to surviving, was having enough food to eat, after a shelter. It's right there. And so, but that evolutionary drive and importance has been co-opted by the food companies, and they've taken it and, made the most addictive product on top of it possible. And they've conditioned us our entire lives to just get obsessed with food. So yeah, that's my whole game. I think the mindset piece of this whole process is the most important piece. Chuck is Barry. It's true. If you lift weights long enough, it becomes a source of dopamine or endorphins. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all good things do, but again, it's even deeper than that. Again, it becomes part of your self-image. It becomes part of your habit makeup. It becomes part of your neurology and your neural pathways and networks that you got set up. Becomes part of your expectations and your subconscious programming. I mean, again, being able to do things consistently long enough, that's the path, folks. Whether it's lifting, whether you want to lift, whatever you do positively over and over and over again, it starts to become automated. That's what programming yourself is literally built on: how to think the right things, how to live the right way, and how to eat the right way, and how to turn it into an automated process so you don't have to think about it constantly. That's it in a nutshell. Lane says, after I'm done exercising, I'm happy it's over for that day. Yeah, exactly. I get that. That is a fine line. That's why it does take, they're just different. And you have to know that, again, if you, I respect people that like exercising. Okay. And they'll be like, oh, you just need to exercise and release endorphin. I get that, but it's on a different fucking time scale. And to pretend like, going and working out and eating Ben and Jerry's ice cream is the same experience. It's obviously clearly not. And why though? And I think it needs to be explained, because the more accurate your expectations and understandings are, the more effective you're going to be moving forward towards your goals. But to not have any awareness of why they're different, you're going to have a tough time. And again, why they're different, the primary reason why they're different in terms of your behavior, why it's, if you eat the ice cream, it's way more likely to eat the ice cream again tomorrow, as opposed to if you go and work out, it's more likely you won't work out tomorrow almost. Again, a lot of that comes down to dopamine. So anyways, they just operate on different time scales, put it that way. Because they always weigh you at the doctor's office and talk about your weight. Yes, true. Lila Liver, how can I sustain a certain weight? Yeah, how do you sustain a certain weight? I love that question. I think it's the greatest question on the planet, and I ask it and answer it day in and day out, because my main goal in life is to help as many people as possible live at their goal weight. So how do you sustain a certain weight? My suggestion would be that you learn how to have a thin and healthy mindset, how to live a thin and healthy lifestyle, and how to eat like a thin, healthy person, and then internalize all that. So it just runs automatically. Now that may or may not mean much to you, but what I would suggest is click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session I give you, and watch the video I made for you. I give you a bit more detailed information about how we do it. It's all free, by the way. And you'll get the Thanksgiving training I did. 5 tips to thrive during Thanksgiving. It's a 5-minute training, and I give you a hypnosis session. It's all free. I'll tell you though, this is why. People say, oh, you charge a lot. Charge a lot. First of all, I give all a bunch of shit away for free, and you'd be shocked. I'm the one who sees on the back end who does what with the material. So I've been doing this professionally for 20 years. And so I've given my program away for free at times. And then I see what people do with the free program. You know what they do? They don't use it. So anyways, but again, I still do it. Here you go. Thanksgiving. There you go. It's an awesome training. I don't know if Jody's here. Jody is she is a litmus test for me for knowing things are good or bad. And and again, she's a pro in the program. She's in the coaching group. She's been with me for a little while. She's awesome, getting awesome results. And so I put it out there, and within 10 minutes of me putting it out, she's like, this is a home run. This thing's awesome. It is. But will people hear it? I don't know. Will people make the time to listen to a 10-minute session, a 5-minute training? Is that 15 minutes, too much for them? Yeah, for most people it is. And that gets us back to the Most people don't even want to lose weight, so that's not a surprise, but that's why I charge. Anyways, for the stuff I do charge for. What are some sustainable ways to do it? What are some sustainable ways? See, like, listen here. Here's the thing. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I work with smart, intelligent people. I work with overthinkers a lot of times, perfectionists. And so when people who are smart and intelligent ask me, "Hey Jim, what are some sustainable ways to live at my goal weight?" It's like, that is not a difficult question. Now, I'm not judging you for not having the answer to it, because I know why you don't have the answer to it. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to snap you out of the diet or trance, because the only way you can get confused and how do I lose weight and sustain it? What are some sustainable ways to lose weight, Jim? The only way you can't have an answer for that is if you're in a diet mindset. Do you understand? Because it's not a difficult question. How do you think you would sustainably lose weight? What do you think you would do? Maybe it is a hard question for you. I don't know. What do you think? How do you think you lose weight sustainably? Let's keep it real simple, right? So losing weight, whatever your weight is a reflection of what you do, right? So cause and effect. Weight's the effect. The cause is what? What makes your weight? Don't you say genetics. Cut it out. What makes your weight? I'm not even going to go on. So answer this question. Someone answer this question. What do you think? What do you think the main reason you weigh what you weigh is? What do you think the number one reason you weigh what you weigh is? Please write it in. I got to know what you all think. What do you think the number one reason? And I'm not saying there's not a 2, 3, 4, but I'm saying number one. What do you think the number one reason you weigh what you weigh is? Yeah, Eda got it. Yep, Julie got it. Rye, you're right. You're right there. I get it. It's not a trick question. It's not a trick question. Yes. Okay. There we go. Eating. It's the food you've taken into your body. Your eating is the number one reason you weigh what you weigh. The number one. You can have PCOS, you can have insulin resistance, you can have thyroid issues, you can have everything else. But the number one reason always is and always will be what you're eating. That's the number one thing affecting your weight. Number one thing. So again, I mean, we can get vague. So in Program Yourself Thin, we have the weight mastery pyramid. And eating is at the top, mindset's underneath it, and then eating's at the top, lifestyle's underneath it, mindset's under that. Okay, so it's a pyramid to show how important each one is. But the eating is the number one thing that's directly going to impact your weight the most. Meaning, if I throw you in a jail cell, it doesn't matter what your mindset and lifestyle are, because I'm in control of your calories now. And I can control your calories, and I can make you lose weight or gain weight with how much food I give you. And so you're not in jail, though. You have freedom. And so you have to understand your lifestyle and mindset piece as well. But at the end of the day, it's always about your eating. Your eating is the number one thing controlling your weight. And you really got to internalize that, because there's so much bullshit out there where people are thinking, doesn't matter what I eat, my metabolism's broken, so it doesn't matter. And if you believe that, you're going to have a real hard time. It's always your eating. How do I know this? Because I could take any person on the planet, put them in jail. Now I'm in control of your calories. Now I'm going to make you lose weight. I don't give a shit how thin you are. I don't give a shit if your metabolism is broken. I will make you lose weight. Now, this is an extreme example. I get that. But I think it's important for you to clarify what's going on here, because there's so much bullshit that people think, and it's really sabotaging. So it's always about the eating. Okay. So now we come back to the question, how can I sustainably live at my goal weight? We got to go right to the main thing that's causing your weight in the first place, right? You're eating. So if you want to have a stable, sustainable weight, you need to have what with the eating? You need to have sustainable eating strategies that keep you at a lower weight. Sustainable. Sustainable. The answer is right there. Is keto sustainable? Is counting every fucking calorie you put in your body for the rest of your life sustainable? Is eating 1,000 calories sustainable? Is never eating sugar again sustainable? Is never going out with your friends because you can't eat with them sustainable? Methinks not. This is not a trick question. So how you become more sustainable is you start building around more sustainable eating patterns. And then you obviously, fortify it with a sustainable lifestyle and sustainable mindset underneath it. But at the end of the day, it becomes sustainable eating patterns. And I say this to you, realizing you have no idea what I mean, which reveals the core problem that you have no idea how to create sustainable eating patterns. You never think in those terms. You have zero strategy available to you practically, which is why you cannot stick to a plan. Because you as a dieter, fuck sustainable eating plans, Jim. I want to lose weight quick, so I need something unsustainable so I can get fast results. Right? You don't want to hear about sustainable eating patterns. No, you don't. That's why you never hear about them. So you don't want to hear about sustainable eating patterns. So don't ask me about don't ask me how to sustain your eating if you don't want to hear about sustainable eating patterns, because guess what? It ain't that sexy. No, but I won't lose weight fast. I mean, you lose weight faster than you have, but whatever. It won't be as fast as your stupid ass crazy diets you want to do. So again, when a smart, intelligent person comes to me and says, how do I sustainably lose weight? How do you think you sustainably lose weight? Come on. Don't tell me you don't have any ideas. Now I know like you may get to sustainable eating patterns and you have nothing. You have nothing there. Which is why I suggest you get my mastery program. If you're serious, you know what I mean? Jesus Christ, invest in yourself, learn some strategies. You got none in there in your head of yours. You got crazy diet strategies in your head. All the things you're thinking about how to lose weight were all put there by fucking Heinz and Nestle and these big giant shitty food companies. That's who's trained you how to lose weight. How's it going? How's it going? Before you defend your fucking diet, do you know who put that diet idea in your brains? Yeah, you trust Nestle? Yeah, they're peaches over there. A bunch of peaches over at these companies. They don't give a fuck about you. They're the cigarette companies, in case you didn't know. Literally. RJR Reynolds and Nabisco are literally merged into the same company. The parent company of Kraft and General Foods is Philip Morris. So go tell me how committed you are to your diet. First of all, you ain't even on your fucking diet. Dieters are crazy people. I love you all. Okay. I get it. I'm here to help you. But at the same time, you got to recognize the insanity of it. The insanity of people get arguments that, oh, my diet works. Okay. Then why are you struggling with your weight then? If you're overweight, how are you going to sit here and argue that your diet works? I can argue it. I'm at my goal weight. I've been at my goal weight for 30 years. So I don't mind arguing it. But I'm not a stupid diet. If something's not working, stop defending it. Yeah, Professional Killjoy says sustainable varies from person to person, in my opinion. Yes, in my opinion too. So I can't sit here. What's sustainable for me may not be sustainable for you. And on top of that, I've developed my sustainability, because sustainability is a relative term, by the way. So anyways. Chuck says, I hate feeling full or either hungover. Yeah, me too. Elaine says, oh shit. Elaine says, mindful eating, is this food going to help or be harmful to my body? Yeah, that's a great question. Katie says, I walk a ton and strength train 3 times a week, but I still don't love it. It doesn't do much for weight loss. No, Katie, it doesn't. And boy, this might be another couple weeks away because I'm still finishing this book, but I'm reading this book, Burn. And I'll tell you, once again, I was on the right track. I didn't know why, but this book basically will blow your mind. And in that, he spent a lot of time with this African tribe. They're hunter-gatherers, the Hadza, if I'm saying that right. And he tracked their metabolisms in the most accurate way possible for months and months and months and months and months. And what they found is that they hardly burn any more calories than someone sitting, he's from England, but from someone sitting in England, in London, working 45 hours a week in an office. So I guys tell you that all the time. You cannot train a bad diet. The way to change your weight long-term is to change what you're eating. And that I had never heard this in this way, but it's shocking. And I feel bad for all of you that work out really hard. But so yeah, Katie, the good news for you though, is if you don't enjoy it, you can do things you actually enjoy. and probably get way better results because it all comes down to the food you're eating. So anyways, but there's other benefits too, by the way, the strength training, so. And sometimes, like there's a lag for the, because I don't want to just shit talk lifting weights and working out and stuff like that. Things that are unpleasant in the moment. I'm not saying don't do them, by the way. I do lots of things that aren't really that enjoyable in the moment, but become the accumulated effect of them become very enjoyable. Lifting weights is one of those things. If you lift weights consistently, you may not enjoy it while you're doing it, but the accumulated benefit over time that you get from doing that, you enjoy a lot. But again, what I'm saying is the experience of it's different is the primary thing. Where eating a cookie is a spike experience, right? There's a spike of pleasure. The lifting weights over time, you don't really get a spike like that. It's a increased accumulation though, and so, yeah. Someone says, do you have any knowledge on emotional eating? Oh my goodness. I got so much knowledge on emotional eating that I built a clone of myself, an AI clone of myself, and it's 13 million words, and probably 3 million of those words are probably about emotional eating. So yeah, I have a ton of information about emotional eating. However, that being said, if you wanted some help on emotional eating, you'd have to get more specific. So that's my suggestions to you all. If you're dealing with emotional eating, the first step is don't just try and stop yourself from emotional eating. That's not a real solution. That's a temporary fix at best. We want to understand the emotional eating. What emotions are triggering the overeating? When are they happening? What's the pattern? What are some better solutions? So we can't find better solutions until we understand what the real problem is. So don't just stop yourself from emotional eating, understand the emotional eating, and then seek to resolve it in strategic ways that really work for you. So hope that helps. What's up, Tabitha? What book was it? Oh, it was Burn. The book was Burn. And yeah, it's really interesting and it's shocking. And metabolism's way more complicated than you thought it was. But that was crazy. That was definitely a big one. And I kind of read hints at that, but now it's just proven more and more and more. But again, my point to you, those of you that hate to work out, and I never have suggested to my clients, I hated working out. 30 years ago, I hated working out. And it was one of the greatest moments of my life. So I was like, I gotta lose weight. I'm like, I'm gonna have to start lifting weights again. And my little voice come and said, I don't want to. And I said, all right, well, what are you going to do then? So you know what? I'll change how I eat. I'm lazy. It'll be easier for me to change how I eat than to get myself to go to the gym for the rest of my life. And so this whole process I'm talking about is really built on changing your eating. Again, I'm not saying don't exercise and don't lift weights. I think there's lots of good things to that. But when it comes to your weight loss, I think for most people, starting to jump into an intense exercise program is a bad thing to do. I think if you want to lose weight and you haven't been physical and you haven't really been into your nutrition and all of it, it's a big change to lose weight. I would suggest you're going to be way better off served putting that energy into getting control of your eating, influencing your lifestyle, influencing your mindset, than you are pissing it all away, going to the gym and just going 100 miles an hour for 3 times to the gym and then never going again. But that's for you to decide. What's up, Santina? Hi, Jim. I've been traveling for work. Now I try to eat the same thing at every restaurant. Helpful. Yes. Smart. Santina's in the program. So again, see, that's a strategic approach. That's probably the biggest difference I would say between dieters and people that are in the Program Yourself Thin course is that Program Yourself Thin people look for strategy. They're building everything around strategy. And dieters are really just trying to force themselves to do the right thing for a while. It doesn't work well. So, all right, I want to get out of here. But this has been a pleasure. You guys are awesome. I'm proud of you for showing up on Thanksgiving week talking about this. But that being said, come on, if you're even remotely serious, why wouldn't you want to listen to the training I did for Thanksgiving? I made a training for Thanksgiving. It's 5 tips to thrive during Thanksgiving. It's 5 minutes long. And then I give you a hypnosis session to install those tips deep into your subconscious mind so that you're ready to do them automatically on Thanksgiving. It'll take you 5 minutes to watch the training, 10 minutes to listen to the session a couple times. So anyways, if you want that, click the link in my bio, get the free hypnosis session I'm giving you there. Read the emails I send you, watch the video I made, and then you'll get an email today or tomorrow with the Thrive training, the Thanksgiving Thrive training. They're right there for you. And for whatever reason, if you don't get it, just email me, Jim at Program Yourself Thin, and I'll send it to you. Yeah. What else can I do? Come on. She said, I started my exercise program on my garden swing. I love that exercise program. It's a great one. Yeah, swinging, which again, swinging, if you've been really stable and static, swinging is a great first step to becoming more active, you know? Elaine says, isn't weight loss and sustaining a weight 80% what you eat and 20% exercise? I mean, it's just, I can only speak for myself. It's been 0% exercise. I'm not proud of it. I'm not sitting here saying don't exercise. I'm saying I'm a lazy bastard. And I have literally, I've lost the weight. I lost 50 pounds and kept it off for 30 years by changing how I eat. Because during that time, sometimes I work out sporadically, randomly here and there. And in no way is my weight reflective of my, I shouldn't say my physical, because I'm an active person. Like I do a lot of stuff, but I don't go to the gym. I don't work out. I don't do any intense workouts. I don't do any light workouts, to be honest. I'll play basketball. I'm very active, I would say, but I almost never, for 30 years, I rarely go into the exercise, like hard breathing, hard working out, all the rest of it. Now, I think that's an issue, and I'm working on fixing that for other reasons. But what I'm telling you is that in my experience, the weight mastery is 100% the eating. Now, again, there's things that support the eating, which is the lifestyle and the mindset piece. But I think it's all about the eating. Hey, there's Jake. Hey, there's John. John, I got your email, and I meant to say that. Great job, John. John lost 20 pounds. He's in the Program Yourself Within Hypnosis program. Lost 20 pounds in I forget how many weeks. So very fast weight loss, but that's what can happen when you change your mindset and you start relaxing, calming down. Quinn 30 says, how to get out of junk food addiction. The way I'd get out of junk food addiction is I'd start learning about junk food. You know, part of the reason you're addicted is because you're minimizing the negative effects of it. And I think once you start to see what that food's actually really doing to you, I think you're much more likely to start making different decisions. But I think right now you have no idea what it's really doing to you. And so it's just kind of a benign thing. Like, yeah, I shouldn't do this, but it's not very meaningful. And so I think once you start actually learning what's in the junk food you're eating and what that does to your body and where that's going to lead you to, I think now you're going to think about quite a bit differently, you know? Yeah, exactly. Don says most people end up eating more calories due to exercise. That's absolutely true. That's for a number of reasons, primarily licensing effect, but also because exercise makes you hungrier, you know, and more tired and more sore. And those things usually trigger more eating. So, yeah, so there you go. Go to my bio, click the link, get the hypnosis session. If you want that, I'll send you the Thanksgiving one for free. The session's free. All that stuff's free. And if you like this, I'm here every Monday through Friday, usually around noon Eastern time, where you can get on here and ask questions if you want. And if you miss it, want to listen to it, it's a Program Yourself Then podcast. And that's available to you as well. So thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate it. Have a super day. We'll talk soon. Bye.